Shit. You good? You okay? Yeah, the throttle got stuck. Huh? The throttle got stuck on me.
So I fucked up. Thank you for the bottom of my heart. 100%. Sorry. I never knew so many people care about me. Good evening, Ampheads. It's 7:42 p.m. I just got home from work. As you can see, I'm still in uniform. I'm making this Uncle Richie video to say thank you to over 300 people that's been reaching out to me and asking me about my well-being. Do I need anything? Do I need medical supply? Do I need money? And what I like about all these people that reached out to me today, not one person asked me about the bike. It was about me, my well-being. So thank you. I'm doing this because there's no way in hell I could respond to everybody in one night. I only got a couple of hours before I got to go to bed and do. My day starts at 4 o'clock in the morning and it ends right now. So that's why I'm making this video. The reason I posted the crash, and Braveheart, thank you for having my back. And just saying that I don't need permission to put any video up that I want. It's not about that. I was asked the same question more than once today. Why would I post up my own video of my crash? Okay. I did that because I've known to put people on blast on the Uncle Richie Show, right? It's all about keeping it real, keeping it raw. I'm no exception. I could dish it out, I could take it. So I fucked up. Plain and simple. 2 mistakes. I didn't believe in my own weather report. Oh, I believed in it, but I had a couple of people with their iPhones, and nothing against iPhones, so don't attack me, but their iPhone showed there was no rain coming. But my Android told me different. 80% chance of thunderstorms. I had spoke to Mr. V on Saturday. Is the ride still going on? He said, yeah. He checked his iPhone, no rain. I said, okay. Make a long story short, we leave the expo. We leave the expo, and I was stuck in traffic for an hour and 40 minutes to go only 17 miles to my house in the Bronx. And I had one of the guys reach out to Powerful Lithium to see if they could delay the ride, which they did a half an hour, I believe. And I got home at 7, and we got the bikes ready. We geared up. 7:30 we were out the door. We get 2 blocks, and guess what? Downpour. I looked at Taiho. I said, what does your iPhone say now? He started laughing. So I'm sorry, Richie. We had to make a U-turn, race back to my apartment, rush the bikes in here. Amber was freaking out because she can't get her display wet or whatever. It won't turn on. My living room and kitchen was flooded with water. We were all drenched. And there you go. So I didn't listen to my own weather report. That's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2. Amber and Primo came from Washington, D.C. They were my guests in my home, including Taiho. And I felt bad that they traveled 6 hours, drive up to New York, to go to an expo they already went to in Washington, D.C. So their faces, they were sitting here in my couch, and Primo was here, Amber was there, and she was like, damn, man, we came all the way up here and we're not going to get to ride in New York. We didn't even make the Powerful Lithium ride. I felt so bad. But Taiho was already sleeping. Primo went to the bedroom. We were all exhausted. Sun baking down on us all day in the expo. We really didn't have nothing decent to eat because the food over there sucked and overpriced, for my opinion. So make a long story short, I started checking my phone every 20 minutes to see if this was a passing shower, whatever. So at 9 p.m., I stepped out of my apartment and I saw the sky was clearing up somewhat. I saw a couple of stars. The road was drying up. I come back in. I asked Amber, "You want to do this?" We missed the powerful lithium ride, but we could do our own ride. And I was excited because for the first time in 3 years, I led my first ride. Yeah, it was only 4 riders, but still, I led the ride. So we geared up again. I had dried up all the bikes when it came into my apartment. They were ready to rock and roll, and we start heading south. I live in the Pelham Parkway section of the Bronx, so from my house to, let's say, Willis Avenue Bridge, it's about 6-7 miles. And when we got to 161st Street and 3rd, it started raining again. Oh, I said, fuck. Taiho's getting off the bike to put on his raincoat. Taiho, this is not the place to do that. They will kill us here. Get back on your bike. And I looked at Amber. I said, what you want to do? We want to turn around? She asked me how far it is to the bridge. I says, we're about a mile away. Let's go. So I said, fuck it, let's go. We get to 138th Street and Willis. It starts pouring. Amber almost get hit by a cab. She's freaking out. You know, they're from Washington, D.C., Maryland area. They don't. If you guys haven't experienced a ride in Maryland, D.C., Virginia, you don't know what you're missing. Backup Mike, Mr. E, myself, the Electric Goons, their experience, and they can tell you, is totally different. Low key. Everybody respects each other. Not one car honks the horn at us. If we're making a turn, we don't need intersection riders. The car traveling the opposite way stops and let us through, and they even wave at us. You think you're in Disneyland. You're in a Disney movie. So she's freaking out. You know, she's excited. She's cursing, you know. And she got to cover her bike because it won't turn on. I said, Nip, this is not the place. 138th Street and Willis Avenue. We will get shot. They will mug us. They will take our shit. I told her we were a block away from Willis Avenue Bridge. There's an underpass on the bridge. We could stay there and we won't get wet. So we do that. We go there. There's about 30 e-bikers, those food guys, you know, that does the food delivery. And we stood there for about 10-12 minutes. Taiho notices that the rain stopped. And Amber asks me and Primo how far we are from Manhattan. I said, the minute we cross that bridge, we'll be in Manhattan. 125th Street and 1st Avenue. So we go. Make a right turn on 125th. I'm trying to figure out, I'm leading this ride for the first time. The first time that I'm not in the back of the pack. I'm not in the back of the pack because I don't dare ride fast or whatever. I'm back in the pack because I want to make sure nobody gets left behind. So I'm usually the Rio when we do a S3 crew. I'm the Rio. I make sure nobody gets left behind. But this is the first time I'm in the front leading a ride. Yeah, 4 riders, but hey, I'm still leading the ride, right? So, I take 125th. My intentions are to get to Park Avenue, make a left. And there's less traffic there at that time of night. It was already, I don't know, 10:30 p.m.? No, I'm sorry. We left at 9. Yeah, it was around 10 p.m. And with all the stops that we made. So I get to Lexington. I notice construction. We can't get to Park Avenue. So I decided to make the left on Lex. We make the left on Lex. Traffic was nice. It was slow. No traffic. I get to 96th Street. Bang a right. I said, I'll pick up Park Avenue here. And that's what we did. We rode to 96th Street. Bang a left on Park. They wanted to see the infamous race tunnel. As I'm going down, I'm pointing out points of interest. Like Mr. E says, gotta look up. And I'm showing her this, I'm showing her that. You know, and that's Grand Central over there. Or that way, I think it was. And I show her the MetLife building straight ahead of us, which used to be the former Pan Am building. And she's freaking out. You know, we're going through a building. You know, she's never done that before. And she held her own. You know, she was keeping up. I kept it under 30 miles an hour. And we got to the tunnel. I gotta admit, I was very embarrassed. I heard that the tunnel was clean a couple of days prior, because Mr. John Angel was hosting a race there. But it was filthy. It was a pigsty. So I was a little embarrassed. I apologized to them. And they didn't care. They were taking pictures and selfies and videos. There was also many graffiti in their life. So we did the tunnel. That's the only time I gunned it, and we get to the other side, and I said to her, okay, I'm gonna take you to Times Square now. We go to Times Square. I get to 9th Avenue, bang a right, go up to 42nd. There was no way in hell we were gonna make a right turn. There was gridlock traffic. So now Amber sees me going S3 moves through cars and buses. And she, oh, why can't we use the bike lane? No, honey, you wanted to experience an S3 crew ride? Now you're experiencing it. Follow me and you'll be fine. So she did. And Primo and Tayo stood behind to make sure she was okay. I get up to 44th, bang a right, theater district. I start showing her the theaters and the different Broadway shows, off-Broadway shows. We finally get to 44th and 7th in the middle of Times Square. These people were like this. Like, that made my night. That made my night. She got to see Times Square. Primo got to see Times Square. They're over here calling family members of where I'm at. Then I showed them the New Year's ball. That's where the New Year's ball drops. They freaked out. They're over here taking videos. Anyway, make a long story short, it was a beautiful thing. Then we proceed. I take them down, make the right on 5th, take them to the Empire State Building. Nice. Continue south, and I was going to end the ride at the World Trade Center, the new World Trade Center. What they call that shit? I can't think of the name right now. Freedom Tower. We get there, it's about 11:20. They're taking pictures, selfies, the whole nine. My job is done. It starts to rain again. Fuck. I told her, okay, we're going to take the West Side Highway straight up. And Amber said, no. These cars are passing at 60 miles an hour. They're passing too close. I said, oh my God, what am I going to do now? I noticed the bike lane, but I also noticed that now it's no e-bikes allowed. I said, fuck it, let me take a chance. So we decided to take the trail all the way up to Backup Mike's house, Washington Heights. And we went underneath the GW Bridge. And after you go underneath the GW Bridge, there's a little tunnel, making a bank right turn. There's a tunnel there, a little small tunnel. So we stopped there because it was raining so hard. So she got a chance to cover her display, whatever she had to cover. I dried up the bike somewhat with Richie's hand job. I always carry some microfiber cloths. And I said, let's wait it out here to see. But I picked up my phone and checked that weather again, and it was just going to get worse. It said pouring rain, 1 a.m., 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m. I says, we got to go. It's not going to get any better. We either go now or second choice is to call Ubers and each of us get into an Uber and take an Uber back to my place. So they said, no, let's ride. Let's go. I passed by Backup Mike's house. I was going to call him. But I said, no, let me not bother him. He told me he was tired already earlier. And so I continued to West 207th Street. And I gave her a choice again. We can do the 207th Street, which we're going to be involved with traffic. Or we can do the back way, what I call the back way to 233rd, Van Cortlandt area to get back to my place. But that's going to add another 6 to 7 miles. So what you want to do? So she agreed, and Primo agreed to do the 207th Street Bridge. And we did that. We went over the 207th Street Bridge, hit Fordham Road. And when I got to Fordham Road and Bathgate, I noticed the White Castle hamburger place. I said, you want to eat White Castles? We haven't eaten nothing. Primo said, what's that? I said, oh my God. I said, in the Bronx, we call it murder burgers, But it was the only thing open. So we decided, is it safe? I said, yeah, only white people go here. I lied. Area's not safe. Sorry, Amber and Primo. But I was hungry, so I was willing to take a chance. And we parked our bikes by the window. We had seats by the window. And we sat down, we ate, and the rain stopped. Oh, great. Nice. We finished eating. It's already like 2 o'clock in the morning. And we get back on our bikes, and guess what? Rain comes down again. I go, fuck. So she wasn't comfortable riding in the street, so I decided to take the sidewalks. On and off the sidewalks. Get to Southern Boulevard, the Bronx Zoo, shoulder the Bronx Zoo. I get to the Bronx Road Parkway northbound entrance to the highway. That's where you see my video. I'm waiting for to be cleared. Now, this is mistake number 2, and why I decided to post a video. My sensor on the rear brake was broken. I broke it at the start of the season, and I procrastinated, like I said before, and it's all on me. So I'm blasting myself. Shame on me. I was riding a bike that wasn't 100% safe. I put my riders at arm's way, and when I went to hit the throttle to get across to the other side of the highway entrance, my throttle didn't work. So doing what I've been doing all season, I tapped the rear brake and I hit the throttle. Only this time the bike went full send by itself. I never even got to hit the throttle, and that's how I lost control and I fell. So the moral of the story is, when your bike is broken, fix it. Fix it. Plain and simple. This is on me. My mistake. So my mistake, if it could help you fellow amp heads, then my job is done. Fix the bike. You don't have the money. You don't have the part. Reach out to the community, man. 9 out of 10 times you're going to meet somebody that has the part you need. And 9 out of 10 times they'll give it to you free. You know? You reach out to Davey, Mike, me, any one of us that wrench on bikes. We've been more than happy to put the part for you. So there's no excuse not to fix your bike. So that was my mistake number 2, and that's the reason that I posted the video. And that's it. I got hurt. I'm all bruised up. Hands swollen. Road rash on my arms. Swollen. My back is swollen. Both my knees. Cuts and black and blues. And all that could have avoided had I just changed the damn sensor in the first place. So, let that lesson be learned today, that I fucked up. Nobody's perfect. We have professional motorcycle racers, car racers. The best of the best get into accidents. Nobody's exempt to that. So people that don't post it because they're embarrassed or they don't want to see, they don't want nobody to see that they crash. It's bullshit, man. We all gonna have our spills. And on that note, Mr. ENYC, I'm going to apologize to you in advance if you didn't want nobody to know. But at the same time I had an accident, Mr. E had an accident in Manhattan. I don't know the particulars. They didn't tell me much, only that he needed 13 stitches on his finger. What finger, what hand, I don't know. So what I'm asking you tonight is, the same way 200-300 people reached out to me and my phone is still blowing up, and so the same way you're doing that for me, reach out to Mr. E. Make sure he's okay. Make sure he doesn't need anything. Mr. E, don't think of this as a blast against you. You're known for your signature Nazi helmet, half helmet. I don't know if it's DOT approved or not. This is your second spill this season. The first one being an Omega ride. And it's ironic because Mr. E always points of the metal plates on all his videos. Watch those metal plates, and that's what took him out on the first spill. Thank God he was going slow, but if you watch the video closely, his face hits the sidewalk, his shoulder on the right side, and it could have been worse. You know, wear your full face helmet, Mr. E. You have a Ruroc, you have a TSG. Yeah, I know it's hot, you wear glasses, I get it, but at the end of the day, you need to be safe. And you have to wear gloves, because had you been wearing gloves, maybe you wouldn't need 13 stitches in your finger today. I know it's a nuisance. You know, you're constantly switching cameras, you're loading batteries. You got to take time to take your glove off and do all this, and you could miss content or whatever. But at the end of the day, your health should come first. And I'm saying this because people that give you this kind of advice are not ragging on you or not shouting you out. They're saying it because they care. And I care. So, you want to take the advice? You don't want to take the advice? You're a grown man. But the last thing I want to know is that you ended up in the hospital and severe trauma. Look at Felix with his head injury with a TSG helmet. He didn't have a head injury because of the helmet. 25, 30 miles an hour, went over a hood of a car, face first in the street. Had he been wearing a half helmet, it would have been a different story. So, it happens to the best of us, and if you haven't got a spill yet, you will. So, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. And that's what this show is all about. Telling the truth. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I keep looking down here. That's what kind of YouTuber I am. I suck. You know, camera's over here. Thank you for the bottom of my heart. 100%. Sorry. I never knew so many people care about me. People that know, you know, I went through a recent divorce, got a new apartment, new truck, and I'm starting over again. And if people like Hope, that have my back and make sure that I'm okay. Oh, another thing, Ray from the Bronx with his Onyx reached out to me today. We were talking on the phone for like 3 hours on my lunch break. I never even got to eat. He offered to come to my house tomorrow, Wednesday. The man works nights, and he has spare parts for the Onyx. One being a handlebar, and he's willing to lend it to me until I get my parts, because I did a show. My last episode was shouting out Last Mile about how they treated Felix. And nothing against Last Mile. I bought stuff from them. My recent purchase was a TSG helmet that Mike paid for when I showed up to the ride and I forgot my helmet. And they took care of me very well. I mean, it was, every company has their good and bad, but I shouted them out so the owner from Last Mile could put their peoples on check and learn how to take care of a customer. So with that being said, Electrified Delaware, where my bike came from, the owner Bill put in an order. Just by watching my video, he assumed I needed a handlebar, brake handles, the pedal crank. I don't know if that's what you call it. That's bent into the body. And he put an order for that for me. My Onyx warranty expired 4 months ago. He did it without me asking, and when I saw that on Instagram, I said, whoa. So I reached out to him, and I asked him how much or whatever. He says, no, it's not about the money. I want you do good for the community, and I want you to keep doing good for the community, and I want you back on your bike. And this is on me. I thought I was big. That's what customer service is all about. And thank you, Bill. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Ray. You work nights and you're willing to give up sleep to come over to my house. I can't wrench. I'm all sore. I'm all banged up. And he's willing to lose sleep and come over and fix my bike. So, thank you, Ray. And thank you, Bill. And thank you, Amp Heads, for each and every one of you. East Coast Scooters, man, like 15 of you shook my hand yesterday. And all of you asked me if I was okay. All of you asked me if I needed something. Your crew is one class act. I believe that every crew should be like your crew. It's what I wanted to implement with S3. But they didn't want to hear about it. But that's neither here or there. That's not what this topic is all about. Everybody could do what they wish. Who am I? But with that being said, I'm really, really considering starting my own crew next year. Because I feel that we lost our ways. I was talking to Shelby today. He just learned about it. He just came back from upstate from celebrating his 49th birthday, and he just learned about all this stuff. He didn't have internet where he was at, and he said that we lost our way, and I didn't understand that at first. But I like it better when we have 48 votes. And let me tell you why real quick before I end this video. When we have 48 votes, we did the ride, and we look forward for the food stop. We will go and eat food, and while we eat food, our bikes charge. And while our bikes charge, we talk shop. We got to know one another individually. We share stories. I miss that. Now, it's all about 72 votes, 80, 90 votes. Who got the fastest Sauron? Who could do the best wheelie? We don't even stop for food. I mean, why? Because we don't have to charge, right? Everybody got these powerful lithium batteries and no anxiety range and not for nothing. I love powerful lithium. All my bikes got powerful lithium batteries. I won't have it any other way. But we lost. My opinion, we lost what this was all about in the first place, to get to know each other, to learn, to see the sights. Like Mr. E says, you gotta look up. We're constantly driving our cars, hustle and bustle, road rage. We're speeding from one red light to the next, and we don't take the time to stop and like, oh wow, was that park always there? Was that building always there? We don't stop. So the e-bikes, when I first started 3 years ago, gave me a chance to cruise and enjoy the scenery and photo ops and and talk shop, and we don't do that anymore. It's all about racing and who got the fastest bike and who could do the most stunts and ride against traffic, cut between cars, and like you're trying to impress somebody. You're not impressing me. You're not impressing me at all. I drive a city bus for New York City. I drive an 80,000-pound bus. So does Johnny, Mr. E. So does Black Dave. We're all bus operators. And the worst thing that we hate is these scooters, like little mosquitoes, cutting in front of our buses and thinking that we could stop that bus like a car. 80,000 pounds. I could hit the brakes. That bus is going to stop where it wants to stop. Meanwhile, you're under my bus. And if you think that 80,000 pounds won't kill you, buddy, you're sadly mistaken. So how would I be as a hypocrite that I drive a city bus for the city of New York, and here I am on my e-bike cutting buses and cars and trucks off? That's not what I signed up for. So that's my humble opinion. You like it, you don't like it, I don't give a fuck. That's what I feel. So we need to be more responsible, ride safer, and go back to enjoying what we did before. And take the time and look at the scenery. And I ride in Maryland, Washington, Virginia, Connecticut with Spark Cycles. Totally different ride, man. I love that. And I miss that. And if I have to form my own crew to have that kind of riding again, that's what I'm going to do. And not for nothing, East Coast scooters, they got it right. Clyde, Joey, shout out to you guys. You guys got it right. You ride in formation, you collect dues. Nobody leaves the barbecue until the truck is packed. That's what I want. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to form my own crew. I'm not taking nothing. I'm not saying nothing bad about S3 or Bronx or Booby or crew, anybody's crew. Everybody does what they want to do. You're adults. You do what you wish. But I'm 60 years old, and I'm not getting any younger. And I don't want to be that part. I don't want to do that kind of riding. I want to chill, relax, enjoy the scenery. I want to go to a restaurant and sit down with the crew and talk shop while bikes charge, and that's what I miss. That's what I had signed up for at the beginning, and that's what I'm gonna do. So stay tuned for that for next season. On the off peak, I'm gonna work on it, get a name going, get the uniform going. There's gonna be requirements. Later on, I'll reveal it, and that's it. So again, I know this video is going too long. I want to say thank you again for all 300 of you, and God knows more if you see my messages up there. My phone is lighting up. So thank you for the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, East Coast Scooters, for being so concerned about me. I want to thank everybody. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope you amp heads learn from my mistakes. With that being said, keep it between the ditches, wear your helmet, and leave no one behind. Back to you, Felix. And thank you all for letting me take this much of your time. Have a good night and stay safe. One.